So there's interesting news coming out of China that kind of surprised me.
Yeah, the Nvidia Shield is coming out in China, and along with it, it appears that Nintendo is actually going to be releasing downloadable versions of a number of popular GameCube and Wii games. Looks like Zelda Twilight Princess, Super Mario Galaxy, those are up to be released for it. And this is interesting because of Nintendo. First, the way that the way consoles are released in China, but also the fact that this hasn't been seen by Nintendo yet. This is using the same chip that is in the Switch, or roughly the same chip. They're using Nvidia technology.
Well, the Shield came out, what, a few years ago?
Yeah.
So it's probably a little bit weaker.
It's using but it's using Nvidia technology.
Sure.
So this to me looks like a test run for them getting ready to support GameCube and Wii games, which has always been said to be in the works. So it's interesting to see that. Also, this could potentially help Nintendo get more money out of the Chinese market without rushing to release any new system into the territory.
Isn't that what this is really doing? Is testing an entirely untapped market for the most part, like a gigantic market?
Well, they did have a official Wii release in China.
Okay. We know how it did there. Let me see.
I don't
Wii
remember.
China sales. I'm gonna see.
I can't remember what it was called. They say the distribution company is IQIYI.
Yeah, the IQ N64 player came out there.
I thought that was GameCube.
It was N64, and they only had a handful of releases for it, but they've always had a clamp down on Western media in general, or other media from outside China. They're now opening it up to more. Now the movie business is burgeoning there because it's the largest. Still, it's tapped now, but still large swaths of the country are not as industrialized as they are here. But it's getting there. It's getting more and more, and so whenever you see now movies made, it's like, oh, well, they have this other. You notice that like there's some movies where they get like a Chinese actor to play certain parts, or they film now subplots for some movies that only come out in certain regions of China because they realize, oh, there's a fucking billion people in this one country, so we should market towards them. So I see this accomplishing two things. Yes, they're making money off of old ass games that they're not really selling anymore. Let's see. What are the games you got? We got Super Mario Galaxy,
New Super Mario Brothers, Wii, Punch Out,
Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess. So these games are all like over 10 years old.
Right.
A lot of them are over 10 years old. Right? You have Punch Out's like probably 9 years old. So we have games that they're not selling anymore. You're not bastardizing a current console.
These are all games that were on Virtual Console last generation.
So yeah, to me, it's another Virtual Console release somewhere else versus going third party because these are all old ass games.
Right. It's a Virtual Console on a non-Nintendo device using weaker technology of what they're using now, but on the same, but it's using Nvidia technology. So this is kind of like I think a soft launch almost of what they're going to be testing on the Switch.
Sure, and this could also like we noted that if this is successful, maybe if Nintendo doesn't have the distribution totally set up for China to get the Switch in there, or they don't know what the interest is, this can be the foot in the door slightly that could lead to bigger and better things. I have no idea how Switch sales are in China. I have no idea what's going on there with that, So, but this seems like this is going to pave the way for them to get in there.
Right.
So any other thing to add on here?
Not on that one.
So, let's see. Switch is going to be in China by March, according to this report from Market Watch. They're looking to get the Switch in China by March 2019. So
2019?
Yeah. So
it's actually better than I would have expected.
So yeah, this could just be market awareness to make sure, people know we can get Mario beforehand. And plus, you're making money either way. I do not expect them to do this here, though. I do not expect Nintendo to do that anywhere else versus a market like this where they're not really existent.
No, they would never. There's no reason they would ever do that.
No. Then you might be potentially cannibalizing your own Virtual Console more. But if the Virtual Console doesn't really exist in a country, then who cares? Especially on games like we said are like 10 years old. on average.